All right. We come again. This is my settings, right? This is what we had last time, size box lesson. And then right now, the size box, we've spoken about that. Today, we are going to do something different. So I'm going in the lib, I'm going into the lib and I'm going to create a new file. And the name of that file is going to be, let's call it input dot that. Right here we are going to learn how to work with taking user input. We are creating a particular space for users to be able to enter whatever they want to put into the system, such as taking during login, right? Users have to enter their name or code and be able to allow into the system, or when they want to register their account, they enter those fields, right? Those particular spaces, we call them fields, but those spaces are for text fields. So basically this is going to be mostly about text field. So we are going to start with um of course a particular field, a class. Of course we are going to do stateful widget. So right, I'm going to do a stateful widget. Yes, so let's call it uh my text. No, it needs to be start with capital. My text stored screen, right? So you know why this is all this place is red, right? Because we need to import Flutter package. That's it, Flutter material package. That's what this guy is needing. Now I'm going back to the main and I'm going to replace this with the home screen with my text. It is here. So I'm going to select that. Oh wow, my AI copilot is active. Let me deactivate it for now. We are deactivating it so that we can code from scratch. So my test field screen, right? That's what we are expecting. So right now, okay, let me just try to run it. No, let me go to my test field first. Where is my test? I call it input, right? So yeah, this is the input. Inside is just a container. So I'm going to replace this with scaffold. Scaffold. So whenever we are making a screen, we are using a scaffold basically, right? So yeah, that's what we have. So let's run this thing. Let me refresh this. I'm using capital R. Yet so it's running but nothing is showing because we just have a scaffold on that screen. So currently, let's put an app bar, of course. So my AI is back. I don't want that. I don't want that for any file at all. So now we are going to create an app bar. So here we are going to have an app bar. Then we are going to have the body, right? That's what we are going to work with. So now the app bar, let's just put the title there. So it's app bar. Remember the first app bar is small, then we call the actual app bar this one, right? And inside it, I'm going to just put the title, right? I'm saying text field lesson. Um, yes. Oh no, it should be a test field, right? So it's going to be test field lesson. Um, the next one, am I going to center it? Let me center it, right? Center title, which is here. Then it is going to be true. And then we are going to set the color. So background color. So colors dot amber green, right? So that's green. So I can select any other page. Let me click here and then create another color. Select another color that I want of the green, another shade of it. Okay. So we know that the app bar is ready, right? Put a comma at the end of it. App bar is ready, right? At the end of every widget, there should be a comma. Then I'm going to the body. So under the body, I'm going to put body there. And inside the body, we are going to just have a text field. So the particular this thing is called text field. What we are going to use basically text field. Yes. Then after this, we put a comma. After a field, after a widget, we put a comma. That's what we are having here. So now let's see what we will be having here, right? Let me refresh that. So we have test field, and then you see there is something here. Um, so let me just cancel this one. So here we can type. See, I'm typing something and showing. There is a particular bar line that appear. This one, right? When I type, it is showing the text there, right? That's what you do. So that's a straight line. So the test field alone over there, see what he did for us. He gave us a strong bar line across from here to here. That's basically what we have. And when you click on it, it gives you the cursor. Oh, I'm coding inside, right? That's basically about test field, right? But then we need to do more things about this. Okay. Now, that's the test field, but we need to for what do we need to do? We need to put it right in the center. It's too much at the edge, right? For the lesson purpose, we are going to put it at the center. Right? I'm going to center it here. I'm going to wrap with center. So right, just basically wrapping with center for the purpose of learning, so that everything will be in the middle. Very, very well. Right. Then after this, you need to put a comma after this. So let me refresh this thing. Then now it's now in the center, right? So if I write my stuff here, it will show in the center. Fine. um Now, this thing, needs to live here. You just emulated something that's showing over there, but yeah, but this is the purpose. Let me click type again. Okay, no problem. Okay, so that's just basically using test field. We are centering it. That's what we are doing. We are just entering the test field. But what is this what we want? Is this all that we want? Now you cannot just have it, but you have to decorate it, right? You can't just have it from here to here. You have to decorate it. So how do we decorate it? So we call a field inside the text field. We call an argument called decoration, and the decoration will contain input decoration. Keep that in mind. This is going to it takes input decoration. The text field takes input decoration because we want to decorate the input. We want to decorate the input. That's one of them, right? So how do we do that? What are the various things of the input decoration? For you to know, you need to hover over the name, and you see all the various things that so you can put an icon. There's an icon argument, icon color, label, label text, label star, floating helper, and all the a lot of things that you can decorate, right? Error text, error message, a lot of stuff that we'll be learning here. Interesting stuff. There are so plenty, a lot of them. Okay, so now let's start. So the first one I'm going to use is a label text, right? I'm putting a label text there, right? Label text, and then it's going to be a string. Here we don't need the text as in the widget text, but just directly write the string data type, like whatever you want to do. So let's say enter your name. Then after you to put a comma because there will be another argument, right? So let me just run this. Let's see how the effect. So you see at the top here, there is enter your name is showing here. Enter your name. Yeah. So that's the first step of us having. We have started decorating. We have started already decorating. So now we need to give a hint, right? A hint test. Am I right? A hint test. Test. So what's the hint test about? So let me just show you uh, Francis. Like I'm just giving an example, Francis. So let's we see inside, right? When I started when I start writing, oh, what am I doing? When I start typing, the example Francis has is going to. But example hint test is like a placeholder that will show you an example. It's a hint. It's a hint, right? So it just tells you, give you an information of what kind of thing you need to put in that particular field. That's just a hint test that you are using, right? So but when you start typing inside, that hint test is gone by. So there's a label and there's a hint test for the field. That's very fine, right? All right, all right. That's what we need to do. Let's do another thing. That's not all. We are also going to add border. We are going to worry about the borders, right? So let's say border, the border of our test field. So we have outline, outline input border. How do you know that it's going to be outline input border, right? So you click on, if you go to the input decoration, it is on the border, right? So I'm going to the border for the input decoration. I'm going here. Let me look at the hint text. Border, b, border, border, web focus border, but then just the argument border. Yeah, it's here. So you see the border, it is an input border, like, right, input border type, and then one of them is outline input border. Let's run this one, see what happens. It closes everything. There's an outline input border across everywhere. But then what's going on? What's going on? The thing is too much in the to the edge of the this thing, right? So for you to do that, basically you can just wrap this in a padding, right? A padding is to allow space. We learn this. So you can allow a basic padding around it, right? Let me around all. Then you see now it's actually away from the edge. It's kind of centered in the middle, right? So not too at the edge, but you can increase this thing, the value 12, for example. Let's see. Yes, so maybe the phone is too into this side, so you cannot see the other edge. So this is the edge. Let me minimize this. Okay, so now we have this, right? So this now from the edge, so I just put the padding around the test field, and I have this particular example of test. Now let's look at other behaviors that you might see. For example, let's say you are working with password, right? We are working with password. So I'm going to keep this, but we are working with password this time. If you are working with password, the whatever I'm typing inside right now, see, it's like this, right? But assuming I'm working with password, instead of entering your name, right? So enter your password. That's an example of how to use the test field, right? So enter your password, right? The example, let me say 1 2 3 4 5 6 as a hint test. So we put R inside. So you see it changes. Now I can put anything that I want inside this. So it's entering as password, but it's still showing, right? But we don't want our password to be showing when we are typing. So what do? You need to go to test field. This test field, right? Inside the test field, you need to have another variable, another variable. So we are basically I want you to understand the position of this particular argument. There is decoration, right? Decoration is worried about the decoration of all this stuff, right? But the behavior of the test field actually is within the test field level. Here is where I'm going to put the obscure. We are telling this test field to obscure the test. Obscure is just an English word that means that it's true or false, right? So that's me whether to hide the test or not, right? You are going to hide the test that the person is going to enter or not. Obscure, I'm setting it to true. Remember, this, let me put an argument here. Decorations are happening after these lines. But obscure text is inside the test field directly, right? But then inside the test field, there's one argument called obscure text, and there's another argument called decoration. And the decoration takes an input decoration widget. And this input decoration widget starts from here and ends here. You can see that. And then VS Code will help you in here with that. You see the end by these faint comments here, right? So from here to here, that's the input decoration. That is what is attached to this argument. And this argument is directly under test field, right? But these various argument, label test, int test, and border, they are under input decoration argument, right? So you need to actually map that, put that in your mind, that that's how the things are structured, right? So we are working with password. So what do we do? Let me run this and see. Well, I did obscure true, right? So now you come here, start typing. Now the test is now gone. Like you cannot see the test I'm typing because we have set obscure to true, right? Again, there may be a hint test. So that's just a hint test to give you what you have to do, but then you have to decide whether to do that. That's basically an example with password, right? That's how you set this thing. So the padding, we needed it because we wanted to get from the edge, and the other stuff, you know the reason why we are having them, right? Okay, in the input decoration we are going to add another thing. Look at this prefix icon. So prefix icon in the input direction is icon into bracket icons dot, let's say lock, for example, right? We will look at icons, right? I believe we did that. So let me run this thing first before I explain what's going on. So now you see at the beginning, inside the field, there is an icon here, then the hint text follows, right? And then enter your password, labels, and everything is there. Okay. So now the prefix, pre, meaning before you start, that's what's going to happen, right? That's what's going to happen. Let's put something at the end. What if you want to put an icon at the end as well, right? Usually when we are doing password, there's an I icon. So you're going to be prefix. Oh no, it's not the, it's the suffix icon. So you're going to be icon into brackets icons s dot I, right? So I have remove I. What kind of IITs are you giving me here? Okay, red eye, remove red eye, energy, fish eye. What is fish eye and things that you are having? So here you need to explore the icon that you want to. I want to use an eye icon, right? Is it even called eye? Maybe the one I'm looking for is not here. But then let me look for uh let me just use this, this one and see. Right, it's going to be the suffix. The suffix is going to happen at the end here. The prefix is going to be at the beginning icon, the end icon, right? So let me see. Let's see what red eye is coming. Oh, okay. So the eye is here now, right? So this usually comes with password. So this is how you set these guys. You go to the logic to be able to open and close whatever we want to also do. Okay. Now we are learning a lot today just around input decoration. Now that is the text field, right? So enter the text field, we are having this issue now at this level 2. So here decorations are here, obscure text, we talk about it. We are going to add another talk about the keyboard, right? The keyboard um so no, keyboard type keyboard type, the type of keyboard that we want, right? Maybe your password particular field, you want to tell the user that okay, for this particular field we are only accepting numbers or this thing. So we are going to do text input dot, no, text input type here dot, we are going to use just phone numbers, right? So this is what happens. So let me refresh this and then click inside this. Oh, my password is not showing on the device. My password is not showing on the device. This one I want the keyboard to show on this particular thing. So I'll look into that in the next session and be able to. But then if you're using this on your phone, you should be able to see that it will, once you click on it. Let me even restart the whole thing. Let me do the capital R kind of reloading, right? Let's wait for it to reload. Hot restart. Okay, it has restarted and I click on it inside. So if you're using your phone, if it's going to be an actual device phone, we should be able to see the body. But I will set it since I set it before, right? I'm able to use the keyboard that is appearing here, right? So with that phone, you should be able to see phone numbers alone, only numbers showing. But then for you to know the other types, right, you can just remove this phone and go to the dot. After the dot, you can see email address, blah blah blah, keyboard, the kind of keyboard that you want, number, phone, street address. So that will filter the keyboard for you. Web search, visible password. So let me see, email address for example. So if you do that, if it's on an actual phone, you should be able to see the keyboard changing. I'll set it next time so that we'll be able to see it well. I don't know. Let me see if I can do some settings here. Show on screen keyboard. I've cut it. Oh, come on. Where are you? You should be at the bottom. Why is it showing at the top here? This emulator, I need to really master is used. Okay, I found it. So let me, what did I use? Email address, right? So for the email address, let me restart the whole thing. Let me restart the whole thing. Okay, click on this keyboard, email address. Oh, it's supposed to have like g.com and stuff, right? I need let me go to back to phone. Let me go back to number, then do R. Let me do capital R actually to restart the whole thing. Let's see what appears. All right. So now let me click on inside. Damn, sharp. It works. So it just show me only numbers, right? That's what it exposes for me to use. I cannot use any other thing. So then you can use that to delete on your phone. So that's just a keyboard stuff. So basically, it's so let me change it to email address again. It's supposed to be giving me a basic stuff, right? For me to use your email address. I know there's text, but there should be .com and things immediately. Once I click inside, at Gym, it's still giving me this simple one. There should be at sign, there's a g.com or something. Um, let me see. Let's test other type dot. Multi-line number, street address. What are all this stuff for? So we can explore. Let me see date time. Date time. So this is going to be about date. So let's see how we enter that. Um, Refresh. So let me click inside. Date time. Okay, show me 14th. Obscure. Oh, let me remove this obscure stuff. Right. Let me comment it out. Obscure is disturbing my date time thing. So enter a password. It's not password though. But I see, I'm going to press this one first. Okay, it has accepted. You see, keyboard gave me everything I can. So only things I can use for time for date. Fourth, 12, 2017 86. So that's another example of a date based on what you are doing, right? Date time or even a time, right? Time. How will I use this one? This one is just using this, but how will I use this one? Let me see. Oh, something is false. But yeah, basically, that we know what we are doing. All right. So that's how you can use the keyboard type. Remember, see where the keyboard is. Keyboard is where, and then obscure text are also at the level of TextField directly. Decoration here is handling with these guys, right? So, but then you can do extra advanced decorations with that. But that is the basic stuff that we need to know about TextField. Let me see if I'm missing some element again. Um, Yep. So this is a good way to start. This is a good way to start. And then another way is another thing to also keep in mind. You can also for a password, for example, like hey, let me go. Since we are doing password, let me say for the password we are doing number. Like the person is going to enter just number. So if we just number, then we are going to add maximum length. Maximum length is to be 6. Let me say 5. Five passwords. You cannot go beyond that. So let me do R, restart it, the whole thing. So I have it here. It opens. Where's that my this thing? My keyboard is not coming. So let me. You see, I'm still pressing. But the password is not going beyond 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has locked when it now reaches 5 digits, right? So you control that by knowing the amount of this that you need to do. That's a lot. Did you see this thing? Did you see this number below 0/5, right? Telling you the field you need to do automatically. Yeah, we are doing basic decoration, right? Yep, that's how to use the test field. And this can be used. You can do this for sign in, sign up, and all that.